You didn't sleep last night, not really. You woke up at 2 a.m., stared at the ceiling for an hour, maybe just lay there thinking about something you said 3 years ago. And then you thought, what is wrong with me? But here's the thing. That broken, fragmented, middle-of-the-night wakefulness you've been fighting your whole life. That's not a malfunction. That's the original human sleep pattern. For most of human history, night wasn't something you slept through. It was something you managed. Think about what night actually was 50,000 years ago. No streetlights, no light pollution. On a moonless night in the open savanna, you cannot see your hand in front of your face. The darkness was absolute, and it was loud. Insects, frogs, wind moving through grass, and underneath all of it, sounds that mattered. A branch snapping, a low exhale, the specific silence that falls right before something large moves. Night wasn't quiet, night was information, and ancient humans were processing every second of it. Sleep researcher Jerome Siegel spent years studying 3 hunter-gatherer groups. The Hadza of Tanzania, the San of Namibia, the Tsimane of Bolivia. 3 groups, 3 different environments, 2 different continents. And what he found demolished everything we thought we knew about natural human sleep. None of them slept 8 hours straight. Not one group. Average sleep duration was 6 to 7 hours. They fell asleep a few hours after sunset, woke somewhere between midnight and 3 a.m., stayed awake for a stretch, then slept again until just before dawn. 2 separate sleep phases, a quiet waking period in between. Not insomnia, not disorder. Default. Historians call it biphasic sleep. Before artificial lighting, people wrote about first sleep and second sleep. In medieval court documents, in letters, in literature, they wrote about it the way you'd write about waking up for breakfast. It was assumed it was normal, it had a name. The idea of one long, unbroken sleep block is, historically speaking, extremely recent. You've been trying to achieve something your body was never designed to do. So what were they actually doing during those hours? The first thing was fire, not just maintaining it, sitting with it. The Jehunsi Bushmen of the Kalahari showed a pattern that appears across virtually every recorded hunter-gatherer culture. The waking hours of the night belonged to fire and to story. During the day, conversation was practical. Food, territory, tools, complaints. But in the dark around fire, the content shifted completely. Over 80% of nighttime conversation was narrative, not information transfer. Stories, and not just entertainment. Stories with structure, with memory, with meaning. Accounts of hunts that went wrong and why. Descriptions of territory 3 days walk away that no one present had ever seen. This matters more than it sounds. A story told once is forgotten in weeks. A story told around a fire every 3 nights for 6 months becomes something else. It becomes embedded. This is how pre-literate cultures stored everything that mattered. Not in writing, in repetition, in the dark, by firelight. But not everyone was talking. Some people during those waking hours had a specific job. They were listening to the dark. Every group needed someone awake and oriented outward while others slept. Archaeologist David Sampson studied sleep timing across different age groups and found something remarkable. Sleep timing shifted systematically with age. Younger adults stayed awake latest. Older adults woke earliest. The result, a near-continuous coverage window across the entire night. At least one person in a lighter, more alert sleep phase at almost every hour. This wasn't accidental. The math works out too cleanly. Your night owl tendencies and your partner's early bird schedule. Not incompatible personality flaws. A 50,000-year-old security system, still running in the background. And then there was the dreaming. Cave paintings at sites like Lascaux and Chauvet show animals in motion. Half-transformed figures, images that don't match any single waking moment. The deep cave, the flickering lamp, the isolation, the darkness. These are conditions that reliably produce visual experiences even in neurologically normal people. The art and the dream may have been the same experience, one made visible on stone. Every ancient culture that left enough record behind shows the same thing. Dreams were not noise, they were data. The storytelling, the fire tending, the dreaming, the listening. It wasn't separate from survival. It was survival. You've spent your whole life treating the night as a problem to be solved. 8 hours unbroken, blackout curtains, white noise machine. If it doesn't work perfectly, something is wrong with you. But the wakefulness you fight at 2 a.m., that low voltage alertness that won't quite let you go, is not malfunction. It is 300,000 years of your nervous system doing exactly what it was built to do. Scanning, listening, waiting to see if the night has anything to say. Your ancestors didn't dread that hour. They used it. They sat by a fire in total darkness and told stories that would outlast them by 10,000 years. They watched the edges of the light for things that moved. They dreamed in caves and painted what they saw on stone walls that are still standing. The night wasn't lost time. It was the time when the things that made us human got made. You just forgot what it was for.